unboxing the Gator 6-unit rack. Alright, so having had the 10-unit Gator before, that one was quite unwieldy, difficult to lug around, kind of awkward given its weight. Bought the 10-unit thinking that I would get some additional pieces to fill it, but after living that one for about a year, just seemed a little too bulky, a little too awkward. So I'm moving to the 6-unit, which easy to hold. Don't have anything in it yet, but I think this is going to work out better. So even though the 10-unit was on wheels, once that thing was loaded, just again awkward to carry. This one should be much more portable even though it doesn't have wheels. So we're going to fill it up next. Taking the cover off, inside Gator has a bag of the mounts for the gear, so there's plenty of those, the screws, bolts, whatever we call them. We'll use those to put the gear in next. And now I've got my units put into this rack, but I was trying to do so. One of the things I noticed is the screw pack that came with this rack didn't have enough screws for me to get even all of 5 units in here. So looks like I'm gonna have to go buy some more screws to complete this. And while we're looking at this, this is what's in my rack. So this is to supplement a keyboard rig. We've got over here a Furman power conditioner. Underneath that, we've got the Ashley LX308B stereo mixer, which I'll have a couple of these units connected into, as well as at least 2 or 3 keyboards. An oldie but goodie here, the Elisa's QSR, mainly as a backup. It does have, on the one hand, a lot of sounds. On the other hand, they're a bit dated, I would say, from the sounds that you've got available today on more modern keyboards. Nevertheless, just to have as a backup, it has come in handy a couple times. And in these PCMIA card slots, I've got a number of these expansion cards. So this thing does provide me a nice wide palette of sounds. Beneath it, the Roland XV 2020. I've got 2 expansion cards in here. One is one of the piano expansion modules, and the other one is the electric pianos. The acoustic pianos, not the best. You know, they're limited to, I think, 4 samples per patch, and the velocity switching is not ideal. My preference today is to use piano patches straight off of my MacBook. Can get much more sophisticated sounding pianos, but again, just to have some piano options, this comes in handy. And then finally, we've got this unit right here, DI box. So I'll have the outputs of the mixer going into here, and then this can go into the PA system that we happen to be using at any given time. So that is this rack. All right, and taking a look at the back side of this, starting to get everything connected, getting a bit of a rat's nest of cables. That's how these things go. This is the more narrow version of the Gator rack. The item that protrudes the most or takes up the most space here is the Furman. So I've got about an inch, a little more than an inch between where it stops and the edge of this, but then even once you get the back end on, there's about another inch of clearance there. So even as I get items plugged into the back here, there's enough space, and then every other unit that I have is less deep than the Furman. So plenty of room. I only have 5 items in here, so I've got some extra space on the bottom for cords. I've got at least 1 wall wart that is on the bottom here. I've got it Velcroed so it doesn't move around. There might be 1 more on its way, but plenty of room, so that's nice. And the main thing I was interested in is the weight of this thing. So this one is more narrow than the 10-unit case I had before, so that alone makes it easier to grab, to hold onto. With these 5 units in here, this is doable. So I can easily carry this from the truck to the rehearsal space. Even though it doesn't have wheels, I can always throw it onto a dolly that I have. It's also not overbearing from a weight standpoint. So moving from the Gator, the wider 10 unit with the wheels, to the slightly smaller 6 unit without wheels, for me, that's a good choice. So this is the latest addition to the rig, and hopefully we'll get to try it out soon at rehearsals and gigs.